And congratulations, Nick, because today you publish your fourth book in 4 years.
I have. I've only got a picture of it because even I've not got a copy of it yet.
Really? And it's called England, My England.
Yes.
And would you like to tell our gentle viewers what it's about?
Available on Amazon now, ebook and paperback. I started writing it just after the Southport murders.
All right.
Because everything went crazy. We had the riots. We all wanted change. There was lots of discussions. And that's when I started writing it. And I wanted to try to verbalise what I thought people were thinking in the country, which is, we love this land. We're born here. We've got connections here. You know, our ancestors are in the ground. If we don't love England, then who will love England? I specifically said England and not Britain or United Kingdom. And I addressed that in the book, why this is about England. England's a country, and it's my country. We have to save our country first before we look at saving anything else. So the first chapter is really about who's to blame, and it's Englishmen for allowing this to happen. So we all need to take some responsibility for being weaker and more pathetic than we realise we are. We've allowed this to happen, and we need to take personal responsibility. It's easy to blame feminism and the communists and this and that. We allowed this to happen in our own country. We are to blame. Second chapter is about politics. The fact now that we have career politicians instead of conviction politicians who are only interested in self-service and not serving the nation, being a public servant. And what do we do about that? So I discussed that. I talk about the rise of Reform UK. They may be a blessing at the moment, but that doesn't mean they're the future. That just means they're a tool to be used. Now, they may take us all the way, but they may not. And that's okay. We're on a journey. And to get to where we want, we might have to take a bus, a train and a taxi. So let's use what's in front of us now to take some steps forward. And at the moment, that seems to be Reform UK. But my warning is, do not be seduced by another political party who then can let us down. We support reform and use reform until they're not worthy of being supported anymore, and then we bin them. So that's the message we need to send to these other political parties, that it's not about winning us over and suddenly we're die-hard reform forever. Well, that's what got us in this place in the first place with die-hard Labour supporters and Tory supporters. I talk about the mistakes. I talk about how joining the EU basically politically killed us. Then I talk about the next chapter is about the big political problem we've got at the moment, mass migration. So I talk about why it started, how it started, the fact no politicians ever got a grip on it, the fact that the British people, English people have never voted for immigration. It was only 2 years after Windrush that the Home Office had to set up a special panel to look at immigration, because 2 years after Windrush, the people weren't happy about immigration. 2 years after Windrush. Roll on 60, 70, 80 years. We're in the same position now. So this has been a long-term problem that every political party in government has ignored. So I discussed that. Then I look at national shame. We used to be a great nation. Oh, everyone makes mistakes. Every nation's make mistakes. That's not acceptable, but it's to be expected because we're human at the end of the day. We're not perfect. But how we've let ourselves down over the last 50, 60 years through national shame is through making mistakes, but because we're run by weak men, we then hide those mistakes and don't confront those mistakes and blame other people for those mistakes. And I talk about the post office scandal, sending people to jail for an IT system. I talk about the infected blood scandal that we knew about for decades and no one did anything about it. So once we've given someone infected blood, and we didn't know about AIDS at the time, so that was understandable mistake. We didn't know. Shit, look what we've done. Stop it all. Admit our culpability. Apologise. Maybe compensation. But let's stop doing what we're doing. It went on for years after that because nobody wanted to admit the mistake. And we kept poisoning people because no one wanted to admit the mistake. I find that treasonous from the state. I'll talk about the grooming gang scandal, about how we let these girls down, how their parents let them down, how the state let them down, the police let them down, how they let themselves down. and that's a national shame that we've still not got a grips with. Then I talk about history, about how this is an amazing country with an amazing history that we need to be proud of. No other country has done what we've done, invented what we've invented. We created the modern world. I named some of the people that we need to thank. The British Empire did more good than good, more bad. We stopped the international slave trade. I talk about the Nazis being socialists. All our lies were being told now. Well, read up on the Nazis. They were socialists. Hitler kept saying, I'm a socialist. But we don't accept that anymore now.
But it was a National Socialist.
National Socialist, yeah. The only difference between him and a socialist today was he wanted socialism for his country. Socialists today want a world socialist utopia. It was only the amount of space he wanted to socialise. And the last chapter is something you mentioned, and I started writing about it. What do we do about it? You've highlighted all the problems in it. You've highlighted why we're here, why we're failing, why we're dying. But that's great. But what do we do?
Answer?
What's the answer?
Yeah.
So the last chapter is called The Resurrection. And I talk about what everybody can do, from small individuals to more powerful people, how we need to stop being afraid, being cowards. And I understand if you work for Barclays Bank, you don't want to lose your job, but how you can fight back being sneaky, how you can be a ninja, not a whinger. And the days of thinking that you have an option of not fighting back, those days are gone. Everyone has to fight back. It's up to you as an individual to work out how you can fight back. Because I don't want people at this moment in time, I don't want people losing their jobs and losing their families. Those days may come, but they're not here yet, where it's all or nothing. We can beat this if English people say, I want to save this country, and I'm now in the fight, and I'm going to start doing stuff. And if they start doing little stuff, that will encourage other people to do stuff. And next thing you know, we've got a national movement of people being proud of England. Available now on Amazon.
In all good bookshops.
No bookshops will take it. But did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.